start with the thing I was mentioning there a second ago, which is the debut of David Sahadi, whose influence you do see increasingly on these shows. That's like, oh, there's actual like production elements on these shows now, as opposed to some just fill in the gaps in the story video packages. So David Sahadi is producing the new pay-per-view commercials, and those who have seen a preview are very impressed. He's using strobe lights and close-up camera shots, and observers predict that the commercial shots will be dramatic improvements over past TNA commercials.
I mean, probably not a hard bar to pass.
Because yeah, you see the Victory Road promo, which is at the end of that package on September 10, and it is very much the case that, you know, that's a promo with style, it's a promo with vision, it's a promo with like an identity, and it's like, my god, this man is bringing character to this wrestling show.
It helps too, he's working with a lot of really cool stuff, you know what I mean? Like, he has a cool group of people to highlight with a company that has a cool aesthetic.
Yeah, because like, say what you will about the Asylum days, and you can say a lot, but coming out of it, the company does and thankfully we no longer will have to. But the company has come out of those days with America's Most Wanted, with Triple X, with AJ Styles, with Abyss, with Monty Brown, as homegrown new guys that they're introducing, and now they can make them seem cool because they are cool. It's like, it's not hard to make AJ Styles seem cool, especially given the one like true pro point you have over the Asylum days is that you can see AJ develop from raw potential into real deal, and like, he's real deal now, and he was raw potential in 2002. So that's like probably the biggest success story of the Asylum days, and now it's just like, let's just market him as the real deal.
Yeah, I think it's what comes out of this too is like the general aesthetic that TNA will become known for is born here too. Just that like very modern, fast-paced, frantic look, and high and flashing lights and music playing and the close-ups. Like, these are all staples and production staples that we will be getting moving forward, and becomes kind of the identity of the company.
And there's a little bit of swagger in it. At the moment, unearned.
There's also a coolness to it.
Yeah, like, there is a little bit of pep in the step that's like, this is TNA. You know, this is the new face of professional wrestling. There's a confidence, again, slightly unearned, but there is a confidence that's like, we're not just throwing shit at the wall, we believe in this, and you should too.
We're not just throwing shit at the wall, we are the shit being thrown at the wall.
TNA workers and fans are raving about the job Dave Sahadi did on his first video for the promotion. It's a short video hyping Victory Road, but it's unanimously thought to be a reminder of how the production work David Sahadi does is several levels above anybody else in the industry. Basically, if you loved the WWF promo from like 97 to 2001, it was probably, or 2004ish, it was probably his creative vision that you saw right there. Like, David Sahadi, who still works with Impact.
Examples for the people, and by the people I mean me, who didn't watch.
Oh, you know the Freddie Blassie WrestleMania promo?
Yeah, of course.
Him.
That one was so good they used it for like 5 years in a row.
Yeah, that's the one that like is the probably like the one that you can be like, creative genius. You know?
Can you do the Here Comes the Pain one?
I'm not sure.
Because that seems like similar vibe to it.
So, like, his work is almost above wrestling. He's too good for it. But later, he still works with Impact to this day. And I think Impact's video production, I think, still more, a lot of the times, leads the industry. Even relative to people with a lot more resources.
I mean, I agree. I think there's one thing I've always given Impact credit for, is that I think they've made the best out of their production.
Jerry Borash and Moody Jack had been doing an admirable job on production for TNA, which, to be fair, they really have. For two guys who didn't have any backing or any resources and did it all themselves, they got the job done pretty darn well, but they obviously, like, it's just not their full skill set. But David Sahadi's a clear level above them. Sahadi had worked for WWE until last year, when he surprised Vince McMahon by quitting. He had reached a point of burnout and earned enough and saved wisely so that he didn't have to support himself anymore. McMahon is known to expect virtually a 25-hour workday from his staffers because he's a psychopath. Even today, sources within WWE production say morale is down because the work environment is so grinding and thankless, and the equipment is said to be outdated at this point.
It was the grinding in his work environment that got him in the end.
When you think back to many of the WWE videos over the years or show openings that stand out, he was the person behind most of them. Although WWE still has a great production staff, it's not the same without him. Sahadi and Jeff Jarrett, being about the same age, had become good friends in WWE while working together on various videos in the production department. Sahadi missed working with wrestling but didn't want to return to WWE, and it's a grueling schedule and political environment, so TNA ended up being a perfect fit for him. He had a cameraman with him most times behind the scenes. He just comes up with one idea after another on how to film wrestlers in creative ways with different lighting and backdrops, and then melds it with non-wrestling scenery and artistic ways that grab attention. His passion, vision, and artistic creativity is fascinating to see in motion, says one TNA wrestler. He clearly loves what he does and is a genius at it. He knows how to make a viewer feel a certain way using imagery. You can't help but feel emotion when seeing his work. Sahadi was apologizing to some for not knowing the wrestlers' characters that well, and he said he'd get better once he got up to speed. So people raving within TNA about the work of David Sahadi, and as we mentioned, you can already begin to see it on the show itself.
Yeah, it seems like a guy who's really, really good at what he does.
A guy who's like an actual genius in wrestling, as opposed to all the people that end up getting called a genius in wrestling. And
Ooh. Say names, Garrett. Call him out.
I'd just say Jeff Jarrett.
Wow, listen, I never want to disrespect one Jeff Jarrett.
We literally did this on the last show, where we're like, yeah, his creative vision for wrestling stinks.
Oh no.
And we're going to talk pretty extensively in a few minutes about how a lot of people in this company think his creative vision for wrestling stinks.